Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I am just so happy to share with you an amazing friend, a gentleman I met years ago. I have had him on the show and just have to do another one. He's so fantastic. We have with us today Michael André Ford. He helps people hear and see angels, plus many other diverse loving beings. He gets answers for you. It's all direct. You can do it one-on-one, as a group. He has 100 testimonials and photos of angels and even a few videos. He is the host of the amazing show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. It's on YouTube. He has 275 shows booked into September of 2025. Guests often take steps with angels on air. So tune in and see some of those shows. You're going to love it. And I myself have experienced time with Michael, and it's been just absolutely amazing. So first off, Michael, welcome. I'm so happy to share you with the audience today.
Hi, Paula. Great to see you again. Thank you for having me back on.
Oh, I just am so thrilled. And, having worked with you several times, you are just a joy and a gift to everyone. Well, first off, for those that, aren't familiar with you and your show, tell us about that and what you do and what it can be for them.
Sure. So it's a YouTube show that anyone can just check out. Go to YouTube and you can check out Angels, Positivity, and Love. My name's easy. Michael, Andre like the champagne, Ford like the trucker car. I actually help everybody just do their own listening and feeling and seeing. And if you have a trusted friend, a relative, you can do it jointly. I almost step out of the way. All languages spoken, you get any answers to any questions. And what's cool about the show is it's not a normal show. There are many, many amazing shows like this one out there, but this particular show has a slightly different bent. It's truly unique. Guests often take steps on the show. So if I light some sage, that traditional Native American or spiritual practice, and you blow it with a feather, you can smell it through two screens, and it doesn't matter that you're watching the show a year in the future. Everything that defies the brain logic, what we know is possible and not possible, that gets tossed out the window. So you're watching pretty famous guests. I had the youngest Delta Force operator ever admitted to Delta Force, who's now in his 50s or 60s, a White House physician to the US president on as a guest, a Good Morning America reporter who's also CBS This Morning, also Weather Channel meteorologist, Miss USA, former Miss USA, Aussie actor Ian Stenlake. If anybody's watched Sea Patrol on Amazon, that's him. He's amazing. But if you like spiritual or just holistic health stuff, and there's been a lot of amazing experts over the years, you'll know the names Jennifer McLean, Lorna Byrne, Echo Bodine, Dr. Eben Alexander, and Hale Dwoskin, for example. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus. He's coming on soon. So we're only airing right now around episode 113 in September of 2024, but we're booked out to 275, 277 of September 2025. Again, it's something you can participate in, watch it, enjoy it, get comfortable. Every guest is bringing you insights, their own personal transformative journey. You get to feel better about your own details and realize, hey, a little more is possible.
Oh, that is so fantastic. And, with watching a show, we can witness, what is amazing things happening for that guest. But that can also affect us, right? How we can feel. Share a bit about that, what we can gain by just being part of that and being in that energy.
We all know there are words, and there's the whole concept of you are your thinking, you're not your thinking. Well, it's all depending on context. If you're having the best day and your thoughts are amazing, you're just super excited, then definitely you're thinking. But most of us are doing judging, knowing, stress, fear, worry, and a lot of knowing that precludes possibility. We call it concrete thinking. That's just the way humans roll when we're not in our hearts. The hardest place in the world is to go to your heart. And that's kind of the heart of everything. You think my situation is, my problem is, my financial, my lack of this, my cousin, my health issue, my 6th divorce in 6 weeks. We're actually that unlucky. we think it's all happening to us, but there's something about frequency, vibration, how you roll. Are you sparkly? And at one point in your life, you were totally sparkly. You were happy. And that part of you never went away. And in fact, I'll throw out the hardest thing that I could possibly say. And it has to do with the show. It has to do with spirituality. It has to do with your unique life path that you're on right now, whether you knew it or not. You can be happy now, right now, in this very moment for no reason whatsoever. But I'm going to throw the but out there. That wasn't part of the quote. But we all know, hey, what about this? There's a war over here. There's politics there. There's this medical situation. There's my medical situation. There's my financial situation, the economy. So that's the ultimate lesson for us all, or opportunity for growth. I don't know anyone. I got laid off in New York City when I was a publicist with an hour's notice, 72 of us, Lehman Brothers, around 2009, 10. And I was the only one who was secretly excited, but no one who gets laid off, even with an hour's notice, ever says greatest thing that ever happened to me. You're upset. You're shocked. You go through 7 stages of everything. But everything is your opportunity for growth. And the only way any of this makes sense is if you're in your heart from a perspective of love, compassion, kindness to yourself, and even more kindness to others. And that's something that's kind of like an acquired taste. And the whole point of the reason why we're here, and that's the point of the show, is bringing people on board who have clearly been through something. They've got books. I've had maybe there's 60 to 70 show hosts themselves on. Right now, you can watch a former CNBC anchor from Europe, maybe London, Germany, who's a Swiss investor these days. She's fantastic. She's on talking this week about what she's talking about, the heart versus the mind. And that's really what this is. Very few of us have explored ourselves enough to get more comfortable in our bodies, in our experiences, and to know it's not personal, that we can choose a greater understanding, a broader consciousness level, and embrace more awareness that allows us to breathe easier, go to bed at night, sleep like 7 nights in a row like you were a little kid again, out, and also walk a smoother path. And if you're talking financial abundance and stuff, if you're love, everything you touch is love, your art, your business, even your career changes that you would have never contemplated a year ago. You're too scared. You got fear. You're like, I can't afford it. I can't do this. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Welcome to being human. But there's something that happens. Bethany Hamilton, the surfer who had her arm bit off, everyone. There's so many other examples of human, what I'll call it, courageousness. They've embraced who they are. They've allowed love to come in. You can call it religious, not religious, philosophical. There's India. There's so many ways to slice this, and it's all good. It's the diversity, the differences, the contrast. And love is what allows us to appreciate all these stories and then to participate in the greater human story. Because mankind right now, I think, is experiencing more awareness, more consciousness. So if you think there's more divisiveness out there, think of the happier upside of it all. There's more awareness coming in where people can choose to not participate in, we'll call it fear. You can do just a little more love, breathe a little easier. And I'm not talking much. I'm only talking 7% less thinking a day, or 7% more heart each day. That's coming from an angel named Charlotte. For those just listening, I was the one that grabbed a camera maybe 12 or 13 years ago in a little bit of a panic and started shooting angels. So I'm holding up a couple angels, a silhouette of an angel, and a blue ball named Charlotte here. The other one's my guardian angel, Min, like the Lakota Sioux word for water in Minnesota. She's light waves of energy and water. And I had a guest just on August 30th of 2024, Dr. Karen Wyatt. The silhouette of the angel showed up as a Hallmark angel, like, you know, an angel in white just out of a Hallmark movie, beautiful CGI, right at the foot of her bed when she was like 8, 9, 10. You got to watch the story to hear what age that was. She woke up, and from that moment, that beautiful experience, she knew as a little kid she wanted to be a doctor. Here she is talking to us as a retired physician. And that's her guardian angel. I think there's probably 80,000 of us that share the same guardian angel. And it's such a beautiful story. But more is possible. Hope is possible. You've never lost a step or skipped a beat. I know if you've had a long-term illness, 5 divorces, this happened, that happened. It's hard with our story, what we tell everyone, what we tell ourselves. But if you can get beyond thinking, that's when everything opens up and you're allowing the universe to do its job, come in and help kind of right the ship and help you flow more, breathe more, be in your body. And one last thing is, I'm going to just throw it out there. Obviously, you can be happy now in this moment for no reason whatsoever is a big one. But you can also see angels in full-on human form. You don't need me. Just tell angels, the universe, to make it nice. Stop right there. Ask for more humor, nicer people, better situations, and good dreams. if you want it indirectly. You don't have to do any listening. You don't have to pay any attention. You don't have to grow any of your awareness, but you have to be willing to leave 1% of 1% for some wiggle room. If you want to go crazy, ask for a couple strangers with sparkly eyes to hold the door open for you at your local store and be amazed at what happens in the next few weeks. The doctor that I mentioned, she's not the only one that's had maybe an opportunity to run into an angel in human form. 30-minute conversation. If you've got guts, ask them to have a cup of coffee with you. The worst that happens is you're buying a stranger who's happy a cup of coffee. On the upside, you might have the best hour or half an hour conversation of your lifetime and get energized from then on out to not only help yourself, but maybe flow a little extra vibe to strangers and others.
Oh, that is so awesome. And, that just tells us what is, what's available, what's out there with, just asking and being open to it, the angels that are out there and who we can connect with. It's amazing and wonderful, isn't it, Michael?
It is. It's a lot to take in, though. And there are India figures. If you happen to be from India or like that culture, if you've ever gone to India or studied in India, there's probably 25 of the major figures. There's Native American chiefs. There's even your relatives. So it's Aunt Martha, your grandmother, who are passed over, your pets. I always like to do angels first. People get to do direct seeing. First, I use some photographs. You look at the photo. If it's a historical photo of Audrey Hepburn, we know a photo can't wink, smile, or move, or an eyebrow goes up, and yet, yes, they can. So you get that experience. The brain says, I didn't just see that. The heart says, oh my God, prettiest smile ever, do it again. So it's sort of breaking down what you know in small, minor baby step ways. And we could say it's 70 baby steps to bingo or getting to your heart. But one act of letting go could be 50 of those steps. And I'm going to argue that letting go is letting go. Brushing your teeth, not worrying about it, which you've been doing most of your life. You're not worried about the molar from 2 Tuesdays ago. Did you do it just right? You're not worried about the light switch on the wall. Did I hit it too early? Did the light not turn on in perfect synchronicity? Do I have to get an electrician? The brain won't let you worry about the small stuff, only about relationships, your health, the job. Are you earning enough? The bills, the usual stuff. As soon as you can figure out what the game of ego, your intellect is about, keeping you kind of locked up tight, they call it Plato's cave. You can meet Plato and talk to him about it. As soon as you realize what one energy flow is from the neck up to what your heart is about, what feels better, what were you meant to be doing, what makes you excited and gets you jumping out of bed saying, another day, I'm so excited. Think of all the ways that we put ourselves sort of in slow motion molasses. We let our body get out of shape. We get on more health issues. We have harder and harder situations in relationships or at the workplace. This is that opportunity for growth to clear the decks, but really you're not having to do anything. So here's the good news. It's not like a New Year's resolution. It's totally going to feel like it. It's like a treasure map where the X is your heart and you're the treasure. But it's not like a New Year's resolution because it's not about doing anything more. The brain, the intellect, even if part of you is agreeing with anything that I've said, I'm holding up a clipboard now and a pen. It's making a new checklist saying, absolutely, he's right about this. And that sounds good over there. And it kind of felt right. We'll start 2 Tuesdays from now. And then those 2 Tuesdays never arrive because it's not about the future. And it's not about how you know the past, what happened to you. It's about just being in the moment and like less action. In fact, if you stop doing a lot of stuff, greatest thing in the world. It's about breathing, smiling, and starting to feel how much you're like that Olympic athlete or that sport that you played in 5th grade or high school or college or after college 2 years ago before the ankle injury. Whatever that is, the flow state that never left you. And that's why you can be happy now in this very moment. You have to figure out the difference between hot stove glowing when you were 9 and you touched it for the first time. Do you ever touch a stovetop again? No. That's basically most of our human thinking. It's a waste of energy. I'm still going to go and waste 50% of my day with thinking. Welcome to being human. But the people who really figure out how to figure out that life is a feast and they partake, they're the ones who have cultivated their heart just a smidge more. And that's all this is paying a little more attention and growing your awareness, not growing your thinking.
I love it. I love it. And Michael, we're able to ask the angels questions, aren't we? Personal questions that we'd like answers for.
I
How
don't
does
see
that work?
I don't see anybody's questions. I don't see their answers. In the old days, I used to go over everything with everybody, but there's just no way. I can't handle all that. So you ask your own questions. And if you want to get it in a formal way with formal written down questions and get formal written down answers, some people like to call that, I forgot what it's called, scripted writing or something. They've got a name for it. But this is direct conversation, as if pick your favorite 10 people on the planet, whether they're alive or not, your favorite professor, you just graduated from university 2 years ago, the wisest woman or man in the world, with humor. They're fun. You like to be at a cocktail party with them or a barbecue. Picture 10 or 20 of those folks and being able to ask anything. And yet, these folks are even better than the real experts we thought we knew in our lifetime. They have complete knowledge of your life, if it's a story or a book, from page 1 to the last page. They've seen it all. And they're not going to blow the surprises that are around the corner. You're getting married in a year. They're not going to say it in a way that blows or takes away the excitement of it. When it arrives, you'll still do your happy dance. But angels can alter your path. So this is a lot for the brain to absorb, because the job of intellect and technically Western society is to kind of put a missile into anything that's happiness. You're not supposed to be living to your max out of your heart. You're not supposed to be able to breathe easy and walk a smoother path. There's a pill for it, or you got to go take this workshop, or you got to beat yourself up first before you do X. It ain't that way. It's not that complex. If it's simple, that's what we're talking about. So maybe you are your thoughts, maybe you're not. That's what the duality thing, the duality crowd talks about. But you can simply breathe more, smile more, let the universe show you some mini miracles. It could be just a little bit of light in the air around you, seeing auras on people. It could be that feather at your doorstep. It could be just the truck that goes by because you were like, okay, I don't know about any of this, but I know something's up. When I was a kid, I had some stuff going on and then I didn't pay attention anymore. Could I at least get something? Dream time. Your uncle comes to visit you, or you meet an angel, or you meet an angel in human form. What will you allow for? Even if we ditch the spirituality, the angels, and anything else, what will you allow for? That's the true rub for all of us. Most of us are pretty shut tight like an oyster, and that's not unusual. Welcome to being an adult, adulting, and doing a little too much seriousness or self-importance, because it can be too much achievement, too much success, or a sense of failure and disaster, and you're like one footstep away from this happening. You're worried. But everything in life is meant to get you to pay attention to one real thing, your heart and love, and how big and loving the universe is. The second you'll get your gaze off your toes and start looking up, chin up, move forward, don't look back, allow more, love more.
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. And allowing is just a huge key to that, isn't it? What can come to us and how we can feel if we just simply allow.
And for the skeptics out there, I think it's great. Be whoever you are. I wouldn't want to change a thought. If you're a New York Jets fan, not, a Los Angeles Chargers fan, great. If you've ever noticed with sports, people have their very specific preferences. If we tried to change anything, we wouldn't have the NFL anymore. We would have a couple teams with no more fans. I mean, love itself is what allows us to appreciate the whole spectrum of contrast. And so you're the only one that can do your own figuring out. And trust me, all of us, including me, we're all like dogs that don't want to go for a walk. I'm doing that rigid head back, the dog that's got its legs out, that doesn't want to go out the door. When a dog doesn't want to move. That's most of us. That's human nature. It's the intellect, the brain, the ego, the psyche, the resistance in us that wants to reject and react to everything, including the cousin. And about the right and wrong thing, there's so many things we could all be right about. And that's what pretty much, I think we're in the age of everyone being right. There's I'm not going to be able to say her name right. Mayandama, I can't remember her name out of India, but she said everybody is right. And once you get above right and wrong, there's proper understanding. That's a love-based from your heart. People are spending their energy every day, how they're spending their energy. And where you put your focus is where you put your focus. And I've never met anybody who goes out the door and says, I'm going to try to waste all my energy all week long, and I'm going to keep it going for a couple of years. I mean, that's all of us. And yet we're still right. And if you compared all the people who are right, and I don't like the New York Jets, I like the New York Jets. Let's let those two cancel out. Pretty much you're left with nothing. That's why the contrast is so important. So this isn't about right or wrong. This is about better flows. And there's an ancient Joshu Zen saying, the student comes running up to the Zen master and tries to show that he's ready to graduate the class and become a Zen master by posing a tough question to the Zen master. And here's the question A student said to the Zen master one time, to the Zen master, "What about it when I seek to be Buddha?" And the teacher said, "What a tremendous waste of energy." And then this is a smart student still trying to graduate. He's like, "Well, what about it when I don't waste energy?" And the teacher said, "In that case, you are Buddha." So this is about doing less, thinking less, just a smidge. Breathe more, smile more, think less, be a little more happy. You're the only one who can shut off one valve a little smidge a day. Like, don't try to do much. It's going to feel like a New Year's Eve resolution. Like, take a nap, read poetry. There's 4 million ways to be in the heart, but trust me, the brain's got 40 million ways to tell you wait 40 minutes. And a week later, you're like, oh, I was supposed to go for that walk. That is like out of a comedy show.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a superpower over you, like a Jedi, and waves their hand in front of you. This is not the droid you're looking for. Your intellect's got that ability on you, and you are already sitting on a treasure chest. If you'll just get off of it, open it up, see what you got, and then start playing the hand you were dealt.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Michael, tell us about your awesome book that's available on Amazon. Tell us about your book, please.
Sure. And I saw balls of light as I was typing it. I'm holding up 2 balls of light, blue and a whitish one with faces in it. That's Charlotte and a Min. Min is also the silhouette guardian angel. So there's no one ways about the photos. You can just see directly with your eyes out the window and see them in full human form with your eyes open and with other people doing joint seeing with you. But I typed up this book. It's probably a 20-minute read called Listening to Angels on Amazon. It's now $7.99. It's been #2. I don't think anybody gets to say this. Everyone's always a #1 bestseller. I'm a #2 bestseller twice. And I've got a very famous, well-known spiritual expert out there who did a review. So you'll see that on the website and stuff like that. Just one of the top folks out there who's kind enough to look at the book and do a very nice review. But you'll find photos of angels in there. It's 15, 20 minutes of reading. It shows you step-by-step how to do your own listening. It's just about trusting more, worrying less, and you've already got that ability. If anyone's an artist, a musician, an athlete out there, and you're in that flow state, painting your watercolor, just listening to music or sipping some tea if you like the practice of taking a cup of tea. That's all this is going into the flow through the heart or appreciating nature and just letting go of what you know long enough to be in the moment. That's all this is. But now you hone it a little. You get any answer to any question, all languages, all dialects, tons of humor. And I don't see anything. You're the only one. They just know how to say it's a vibration that comes in that turns into Japanese if you live in Tokyo, but also gives you a smidge of humor depending on what the topic is. And you are just cracking up because someone knows you, not me, the universe. And then you get hugs. The hugs can become healing. You can see directly. And again, you can do this with other people. So I feel like I'm truly off the hook. The photos are a great starting point, launch pad to feel better. At Omega Institute 2 summers ago, 3 people got to see an angel named Joy, who's a pink ball light. And I'm holding up a pink ball light named Joy, angel, very cosmic on everyone's team, high peppy voice. I always say she's a blonde, but once in a while she shows up as a brunette. That's how they saw her to make it.
Oh,
And
I love
Paula,
it.
you've met these angels forever.
I have, and oh my gosh, yes. The sessions, the time with you, Michael, have just been beyond words, just beyond words. And your book's amazing. We have just a few minutes left in the show. What last message do you want to give to everybody today, Michael?
I would just say, hey, you've got no limits. I know you hear that all the time, whether it's a Geico commercial, Tony Robbins, anything else, but it's true. If you can get out of your thinking and just breathe more, the whole universe opens up. Your unique life path comes to you, and angels can alter your path. So you can have a direct conversation about stuff in the past. So you can jettison what you're holding on to and move forward and let go. You can get any answers and get guidance. But the YouTube show is probably what I'd want to leave you with. The YouTube channel, it's just youtube.com/Michael André Ford, @Michael André Ford, and so on. You'll find it. But guests are actually telling their own story. But the beauty, it's a little bit like art. With so many guests, there's a couple of guests who don't do anything before or after the show or during the show. I usually light sage, blow it. You can smell it through 2 screens. But a lot of guests take steps on the show, especially the panels, and joint steps. They feel or hear or see angels, and that's usually buried towards the end. watch enough of those shows, take enough of those steps. I think you're going to gain confidence and be able to take some of your own steps and at least acknowledge something's going on that's beyond our grasp at a thinking level.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And so when you have panels, you have multiple guests and you're just kind of putting it out there and they all see a particular thing.
90 minutes, 3 experts plus myself. It's in 90 to 100 minutes. I try to keep, out of everything. If I didn't have to talk, I wouldn't want to talk. But it's better to have everybody talking and experiencing. Who better than the person listening or watching right now to take their own steps? That's what life is about. That's what the shows and panels are about. There was one panel, if people don't mind galactic talk, they get to take steps before the panel, during the panel, and they're doing joint seeing on stuff. We'll leave it at that, but light. I'll show people their auras. You can see rainbow light colors flowing between my fingers. I just had a guest that I taped yesterday who was seeing my aura on me, but then extra stuff. You're much more surrounded by love than you would ever imagine. Or you can meet the Big Mary, Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus, St. Francis, and so on. But they can show you light. You can feel light. It'll just be love coming in. And it's what will you permit yourself to see? So if you're watching enough, and giving yourself a break about all this, a little gap in your consciousness or your intellect, your defenses might drop, your shields on the Starship Enterprise from the neck up might drop, and a little love might sneak in. You might see a little ball of light, catch a little color. I give you plenty of exercises to take advantage of. You only have to take a breath, and setting your intent, I'll leave you with this. Here's the uniform only rule or structure I've got for 13 years of doing this for thousands of folks. Set your intent, ask angels to get you, hey, angels, get me out of my head, into my heart. Help me enjoy this moment. Thank you. Amen, rock and roll, however you roll. But I don't care if you're about to do a pickleball smash, step onto the court, go play at the casino, go for a run. Use this for anything. Best cup of tea in the world, angels, help me have the best cup of tea in the world. It's sort of a form or act of gratitude.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And that right there, so simple, but so powerful. And what it can accomplish and bring to us. Oh my gosh. Well, Michael, I just have to say thank you so much for all you do, your show, and it's just amazing. And I am just so grateful to have met you, my friend, and just can't recommend you enough. This is amazing. And thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Paul.
Everybody out there, have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us. Love, hugs, and blessings. Michael, love, hugs, and blessings.
Same to you. Same to everybody out there. You're huge amounts of energy. You just don't know it, and it's all love, believe it or not.
Yay.